Welcome to Boss Up Babes, helping babes show up, boss up, and thrive. With #1 best-selling author, global influencer, and ultimate boss babe, Carissa Adkins. Carissa is a health and wellness expert and CEO of the 365 Daily Hustle, here to help mompreneurs and career-focused women boss up and reclaim their healthiest life. She is a pro at cutting through the BS and inspiring massive breakthroughs that help women create healthy routines and habits that facilitate personal and professional growth. Are you ready to reclaim your best life, take action, and be a badass boss babe? Let's get to it.
What up, everyone? Welcome to another badass episode of Boss Up Babes. We are a weekly show dedicated to all you lady entrepreneurs out there, you innovators, you hustlers, you personal development junkies. And of course, I just can't forget about the badass women who are looking to show up, boss up, and thrive in life. As usual, I want you to grab your favorite pen, go get your notebook, because we are talking all about finding fulfillment beyond wealth and beauty. That's right. We're talking from looking good to feeling good and how we can redefine success with my good friend and special guest, Dominey. But first, a little life update. So this is what's really going on in my life this week. So you guys know that my husband got orders. In fact, he got orders overseas for a 12-month tour that I cannot go to. Sadly, I know, but trust me, I probably don't even want to go to the base that he's going to. But the reason why I bring all this up is because in the next couple of months, I'm going to get then our base, like the family's next assignment. So that's kind of how it works in the military, right? Like the husbands go away for a year, and then the wife, the family, it's kind of her job to move the whole family to get everything settled into the next base. So as you can imagine, my life is kind of like almost on hold right now. Like I'm not booking any more retreats. I'm even holding off from, like speaking gigs that may be out of the country, because I don't want to commit to something that I don't know if I'll even have the mental space or energy for, if that makes sense. But this is what I am doing as a babe who totally loves manifesting and just bossing up to the next fucking level of greatness all the time. Like this is what I am actually doing, because right now I don't know where I'm going come February. Me and my daughter, we have no idea what base we're going to get. So this is what I've been doing. My husband's job was to update, they call a dream sheet, right? So he's got like bases like Georgia and Florida and Arizona, and we've got overseas like Spain and Italy and Germany and England and all those jazz. So we have like 15 bases that are like our top 15 bases that we hope to God that we get. So what I've been doing as a manifesting queen is I've been starting to look at houses on our #1 spot, right? So like if he really wants Valdosta, Georgia. Don't ask me why, but he's super like military, like he's all boy in that aspect where he's like, he follows a base for a specific mission, which I can appreciate, right? As a woman who goes after all of her epic goals and dreams, like this is his dream to get to this base so that he can learn how to like jump out of airplanes and like do all kinds of more boy dangerous stuff that I don't really get, but that's cool. I don't need to get his dream. I just have to support him as his wife, right? So what I am doing every single morning is I take time to really meditate and envision the life we're going to have in Georgia or Tucson or, like our top bases. So I sit there and I just think about like the pool my house is going to have and the beautiful Zen space my house is going to have, my new office with all the new office, like beautiful hot pink chairs, like all these things that I'm going to start to rewire my life around, so that that's exactly what the universe, like I'm putting out this energy and this idea of like this or something greater. Like I'm totally cool with any of this, right? Now, if you tell me I'm going to Spain, hell yes, pack my bag. And now I'm going to start looking for houses on Spain. But you guys, right? I can't control where we go. That's the US government. Can't control it. That's out of my control. all I can do is do my part by holding the vision of like us leaving. I mean, do you know how many months I was meditating and trying to manifest just a set of orders? So for like 12 months, I was literally meditating on like my husband getting the email saying, congrats, pack your bags because you're getting out of here. Because you all know that like I'm not a fan of nowhere, New Mexico. And that's exactly where I'm at. So anyways, you guys, it's not our job to kind of control the entire, like the how, right? And so many women get stuck in like, how is all going to happen? That's too big for us. We just need to know what the vision is and kind of know where we want to go. Hopefully that makes sense. But anyways, okay, back to looking good from the inside out and feeling good, looking good, and how we can redefine success. So with that, I'm going to introduce my beautiful queen guest, Dominey. She's a spiritual guide to the elite. So if that's you, check her out. She helps those who are successful in their careers, but struggling in their personal lives to redefine success. So from outward and striving perspective to real inward fulfillment and joy, I want to welcome the beautiful Dominey to the Boss Up Babe show.
Thank you so much, my love. And I love that intro. I love what you're sharing. I have no doubt it's going to fold right into what we're talking about every time. Every time.
Yes. Like that's how it
Trust
works.
the moment.
Right? Like my husband's like looking at like these beautiful giant, Victoria homes with like willow trees. I'm like, I don't know about willow trees. So like, I think my manifesting powers are a little bit stronger than his. So I'm not saying willow trees. Sorry, babe. But well, goodness, I'm so excited to have you on. It's been a journey getting you on today's show. And without a doubt, right? Like I knew it was going to happen because badass women, like we don't just have all the time in the day to just like hop on a podcast. So it really took my team, your team to finally get you here. And I'm so excited to have you here. So let's just dive right in with the time that we have left. I am curious, right? How did you get to becoming this beautiful spiritual guide for the elite women? So what really brought you to this work? We all start somewhere. And then how does your personal work and you really relate to that global leadership? Because I know you think globally, girlfriend. So break it down. What even brought you to the work that you're doing today?
Oh my God. Let me just tell you what, it has been a hell of a journey. It really has. I started when I was actually about 19 years old.
Okay.
I found the exact same work that I now teach when I was 19 years old. I'm now 38.
Okay.
And when I was, I was a damn mess. That is the God's honest truth. I was a mess of insecurities. I had voices in my head. I had all this like discomfort. I was uncomfortable in my body. I hated going shopping because nothing felt comfortable on me, because even when I wasn't wearing anything, I was uncomfortable, right? I was uncomfortable in my own skin. I was depressed. I was on meds, anxious, always out in the future, worrying, trying to control everything. I mean, you name it. I was struggling with it. And I just got to this point where it felt like I just couldn't tolerate being me anymore. I couldn't, it was so much work. Life was so much effort. And I was making it a lot more effort than it needed to be, but I didn't know that, obviously. Mm-hmm. And so I found this work, and in one weekend, I transformed more than I thought humanly possible at all. Like one weekend, I was like, I would like more of this, please. And I'll take more. I'll take more of that. And I dove into it, and I did, I studied it intensively in a school for 4 years. Then I went to another intensive 4-year school. Then I got a master's degree, and I just kept going and going and going, because every single issue that I worked on through this method was eliminated.
Yeah. Wow.
Like,
okay. So let's back even that up, because if someone hasn't read your beautiful bio in the description below, like remind everyone who's listening and watching what it is that you actually do. Maybe we should have started with that, because I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, tell me, what do you do?
Exactly. I know. And it's surprisingly nonlinear, actually, the answer to that, because what I do is completely intuitive. It's not a methodology. Okay. It's not like, oh, it's hypnosis, or it's, tapping, or I've done all of it. Girls, ladies, I've done it all. I have done in 20 years. I have studied, I think, every, personal transformation method out there, and they're all great, but none of them are the whole story. This work has developed in what I do differently, such that when you come and you sit with me, we go straight to the core of the issue. Okay. We don't treat the symptom of it. Like you go to therapy, they work on the mental and psychological levels. That's great. Very helpful. Not the whole story. It's a symptom of the underlying cause. This goes straight to the core of the issue and addresses it right there on the call.
Yeah.
So it's just this process of sitting and noticing what really is like the actual reality in your physical body, as an example.
Yeah.
And as you do that, you begin to see through contrast the lens through which you see life, right? The lens that can it's like a contact on your eye, right? It's indistinguishable, but it consists of all of the like a screen you're always looking through that consists of your beliefs and your traumas and your past experiences, who you think you are and who you think you should be and who you think that other lady is and what you feel about the color pink. It's like all of these ideas, right? And you don't know that you're seeing the world through that. So you think that you're seeing the same world I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But you're not. Because I have a different view of pink and a different view of myself and of you and of judgments and
Tell me
right?
you love it, pink. You tell me you love pink. Come on.
I'm telling you, I do now, but I had to grow into it. You know why?
Yeah.
Great example. I had all these stories around the color pink. I thought it I was like kind of like I grew up in a barn. I rode horses. So I was always like kind of like boyish, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was too feminine. I didn't like it because to me, the feminine meant weak. Overly vulnerable. I mean, all of these stories, none of which is true about femininity and none of which is true about pink, but I was putting it on. I was like pasting and I just thought that was true. And I thought everybody felt the same way. You see what I mean? It's like, it's so convincing. It's how we see reality. So the more you work with me, and this happens fast, by the way, within a couple of sessions, the way you see reality changes and suddenly your whole life starts to shift. It's wild.
Yeah. And I know we've known each other for a while, but like I've even followed into that same, because I realized in the weight industry, right? Fitness, health, weight, mental health, physical health. Yeah. But I was like, it's a real root. There's something down there that is caused this woman to either overeat, binge eat, not eat, you stress the heck out, like all these things. And so I had to study the mind in order, in the body and how it changes. So I totally get what that means. Okay. So you provide like almost instant transformations for women. Like literally you could spend 6-12 months with them, but just like a couple of sessions with you, which is why those powerhouse, like elite women work with you, right?
Yes. 100%.
Time to be fucking
because
around.
who's got time? Exactly. Because once you know there's an alternative, once you realize, I don't have to keep attracting the same, let's say, negative relationship over and over again. I mean, you can do it for another 10 years and come back to me later, but like, why? You could meet the relationship of your dreams, whether that's romantic or business or, that angel investor you're looking for that new project. I mean, like whoever it is, whatever it is that you want next. If you don't have it yet, there's something that you're doing that's stopping it right there.
Yeah. And with Dominey, you guys can have it, like literally
actually have it
into that epic life, like next week, if you really, really wanted to.
Yes.
Okay. So like, obviously you don't just work with like local, you work with women all over the world, but and I know you're super passionate about like global leadership. So how does what you do really go into and really relate to global leadership?
Yeah, this is something I'm incredibly passionate about right now. I actually just got invited to speak at the United Nations. And I know
guys, first off, okay. She just casually said this, like, okay, I just got asked, like, fuck no, just got asked to speak at the United Nations on leadership. We're about to hear it, but like, Paula, right? You guys know I only bring like the biggest boss babes to the show. So okay, carry on.
I feel the exact same way. To me, that is like a pinnacle experience. I am so excited about it. It is ridiculous. And this is exactly what I want to speak about and I work with men as well. I actually work with a lot of men because the paradigm of global leadership is changing. There's a lot that's changing in the world today. I don't think that's news to anybody listening right now. It's changing so hard and it's changing so fucking fast that it's sometimes hard to even sometimes keep up, right? With whatever is going on. So here's the shift in particular that's happening around global leadership is this. Leadership used to be about being the toughest, right? About what you do in your leader, the choices you make, where, what you do, action-based, right?
Right. Yeah.
What is shifting now? Obviously your actions still matter, but now what's more important, again, the action is the symptom Okay, sure. You're building policy in direction A. Cool. Why? Where is that impulse coming from? Because maybe B is actually best for the country. The question is, where are your actions coming from? As you said, why are you overeating? Why do you feel the desire? It's not because you're not good enough, or even if you're like, oh, I'm an emotional eater, right? But why?
Right.
What is that? What is create? Your system wants that food. It needs that. It thinks it needs that in this moment, which means it does need that in that moment, just not physically, right? Not to survive. Okay, cool. Which means there's something's in your system that's resulting in an out of balance response, an out of balance physical action. Same thing with global leadership. If you don't solve the issues that are going on under the surface, then the choices you make in the boardroom, in the training room with your clients, in your children's room, or in the war room, come from that place. So if you've got, issues with with authority that are unconscious, then every decision you make, some of them being in, global policy or responding to or creating violent situations of violence, right? Warlike situations, that impulse filters through those issues around authority, meaning I need to be the biggest and toughest, send those troops in.
Right.
Well, now your husband's getting sent off to some God knows where, because of somebody's ego, which is not in check because he's not conscious of exactly where that choice is coming from.
Right.
Isn't that unfortunate for you?
Yeah.
And every other person.
Sure.
So it's not like, go or don't go, or you're pro, action, military action or not. It doesn't matter, right? Military action can be incredibly aligned and important and great. And then sometimes it can be absolutely horrifically awful. What's the difference? The place from which the leader who makes that call is deciding from.
Yeah.
So to awaken at that level, for those people to become aware of what they are of what's going on inside of them, it's going to change the entire world in an incredibly, incredibly rapid rate.
Love it. So you're going to go to the United Nations. You're going to share this thought, right? This very powerful thought. Like that alone makes you like this badass leader who was like, I don't really care what you think of this idea, but I'm going to talk about it. We're all aware of it. But like, what are you hoping to get out of this talk? Because we all, we do stuff with hoping that we'll reach some sore letter, whether it's to their core or someone finally stops to say, holy shit, she's right? Like maybe we should bring her on and work with some of our biggest global leaders. But what is your intention for going now? Like, what do you hope to get out of it?
I mean, you just totally nailed it. It's about getting, what I seek at this point, I've done the work myself for 20 years. I am so aligned, girl. I am like, my life is like this effortless flow of like ease and joy and fascination, and like all of the struggle, the insecurities are gone. I'm self-confident. If the feed cuts off right now and it's like, oh, we did this whole planning and it's not going to, well, okay, well, that happened. We'll reschedule. There's no disappointment. It's like, there's just no issue anymore. And so now at this point, and I worked my ass off to get there, I'm not going to lie. Again, used to be a big mess. As I now have started reaching that place, now what's coming is the megaphone for the message to get out. And that's what I'm seeking now. That is not even seeking is not quite the right word. I'm open to it. And that's what's been coming. So when this came, the huge relevance of this, and I feel like I'm putting that out there in case like somebody listening also is like, oh, hey, as I'm saying, I'm like, oh, actually, this might be relevant to the listeners. It's that megaphone because it'll reach, 10,000 people or 100,000 or 1 million people. And the people who need the message will hear it, resonate with it, and act.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether that's hiring me, that's great. If not, just making the change on their own, doesn't matter to me. The point why I'm showing up is to actually make that change.
Yeah.
So I think it's to allow the right people to resonate and let the movement go from there.
Let it. Yeah. Then it's like, you're the freaking pebble that just dropped in someone's big ass pond. And now it's like the ripple effect, right? Like
exactly.
All it is fun. I love it.
Exactly.
Okay. So we both share like the exact one of, like you, like me. You probably have multiple coaches and mentors, but we share one and particularly in common. And Alok, that's kind of weird. I feel like that's how we met. Somehow the universe brought us together. And then all of a sudden you were like, we were at this retreat at the same time together. And like, guys, literally picture this, right? So she is in the little hotel's restaurant, beautiful place. And she's just like doing her own thing. And I'm like checking in, like I'm looking for a table. And all of a sudden, she's like, I think I know you. And I'm like, I think I know you do, because like we had connected for like 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, this woman's a badass. I want to stake around her. Like, I like to swim with sharks, right? Because if I want to be a shark, I want to swim with sharks. And so she's like, I think I know you. And I'm like, yep, I think I do. But like, remind me. And she's like, I'm about to be on your podcast. So like everything aligns up in its most perfect time. But I bring all this up because I am really curious. And maybe Alok never asked you guys this question, because I know you're like a level and tier above me, but he said, answer this question. I believe in a world where. So now I throw that back on you. And what do you believe in a world where? Like, if you just had to say it back, I believe in a world where, what would your answer be?
That is so killer. That is that is a deep expression of intention there. I believe I'll phrase it a little differently. Because when I say believe, people will often use the word believe, and it actually kind of acknowledges the lack of reality of what they're saying. It actually takes them a step back from what they want. Like people will say, I believe in energy. And to me, that's like saying, I believe in this chair I'm sitting on.
Sure. Or I don't even believe it exists yet, but I believe it will one day get there.
Yeah. It's like, I can't see it, but like, I know it's like, for me, I can see it. I can feel the energy everywhere. So it's not, magic so much. I see a world where global leaders rise and act from the place of aligned intention.
Oh, mic drop. I mean, Jacob, hit me with a mic drop right now. That is so good. That is so good. I think I should have probably made that the title of this episode. No, I'm just kidding.
You totally can. But what's fascinating is, as soon as you asked that, I had no response. And I started speaking. And then each word dropped in right before I said it. So I had no idea how I was going to end that sentence when I started it.
I was like, oh snap.
I was like, let's find out. I remember the call. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't actually finish that exercise, but yeah, that's actually what it is.
Love it. Okay. Last couple of minutes of the show. What is something people can do right now to begin to experience the shifts you've made and feel more aligned and effortlessly? So like, what would be some advice that you would give the actual listener? And like, I would love to say I have global leaders listening. Absolutely. Internationally, it is a show and just streams all over on smart TVs, on Roku, like everywhere. However, like for the normal listener who's watching this in her car, getting to work on time, like what is some advice that you would give, that woman to help her make the shifts that she really does feel? Like, I believe that she already knows that she wants to do something.
Oh yeah.
But she has not yet given her permission to really step into that full alignment. What are some advice you'd give them?
Yeah, 100%. First of all, anybody who is on here that does not identify themselves as a global leader, just check in.
Oof.
Just check in. Because you may not want to. Some people don't want to. They have no interest in leading. Great. That's an aligned choice. Some people want to and tell themselves they can't. Now, when you do that, you're changing your reality. So you want to be very careful about that, because as you shape your reality, you either restrict it or you don't.
Right.
That's why the work with me is so powerful, because you begin to see what is instead of what you're telling yourself should be or what you think ought to be.
Yeah.
Anytime you do that, you're in delusion. You're out of reality. You're not living your full at all. You're not in life. You're not here.
Right.
Here and now. So here's what to do. Okay. A lot of people will walk down the street, especially ladies. I feel like we do this a lot as ladies. Walk down the street and we're seeing ourselves through the eyes of the people we're passing. Oh my gosh, that person probably thinks that because I'm walking and I wore these, snakeskin pants and I'm just, I'm not really sure I'm pulling them off. Right. And we're talking about shit that literally neither matters nor exists.
Right.
Does not exist. This is not an opinion. Look at the shape of it. What you're deciding something, you're projecting it onto someone else, And then you're deciding what they think going back. It has nothing to do with you, and none of it actually exists in reality.
True.
None.
Yeah.
Flat out delusion, actual delusion, right? So it's quite common, actually. Anytime you say, oh, I'm not this, and you're out in the future. Oh my gosh, this is going to happen. You're deluding. That doesn't exist yet.
Right.
So as you're walking down the street, and then another piece here is that as you do that, as you shift your focus from you to them, decide what they're thinking, as you project, you disconnect from yourself and you try to connect with them instead. It's a little bit of a safety mechanism.
Sure.
But it's BS, and here's why. Every time you disconnect from yourself, you abandon yourself. You reinforce the message that you don't really matter, or you don't, whatever your story is, they're more important than I am. Girl, no more. No more. You are serving no one, least of all you.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not making, this is not modesty. Don't confuse the two, right? It's not being humble. It's BSing yourself, right? Keep yourself small. So as you walk down the street, so when you focus on others, when you dismiss your needs for somebody else's each time, there's a little abandonment of self. So instead, here's the invitation: walk down the street, same street, wear your snakeskin pants. I'm wearing snakeskin pattern pants.
I had it figured.
I'm rocking my snakeskin. I actually love that shit. So as you walk down the street, rather than leaving yourself and focusing on the other and projecting their opinion on you, I want you to live from the inside out. I want you to walk down the street with your focus inward. How do I feel in my body in these pants in this moment? And the next moment it might be different, but in this moment, I feel blank.
Yeah.
Okay. And it doesn't matter what it is, but in that way, you're connected to yourself, and the level of fear, insecurity, uncertainty, self-doubt that is eliminated in that one shift by connecting to yourself is a game changer. Try it.
Love it. Love it. Oh my God. So amazing. We could have like another one once a quarter with you and just keep picking your brain. And like, I would love to even bring you back at some point and be like, how was this like United Nations talk?
Yes.
So freaking epic. I freaking love it. Okay. So where can people find you? Since you work with men and women, I'll say people, but a lot of the people listening today are women.
Love the ladies. Bring it on.
Yeah. Bring it on, queens. Right. So where can they find you? What's the best place for them to like search out for Dominey and like reach out to you and book calls with you and all that jazz?
Absolutely. I will offer your listeners actually a free call if you're open to it. I don't usually do that, but I will give you a link and you can put it in the show notes. So if you guys would like to schedule a free call, just check out, let's see what's going on and see if it's a good fit to help out. Happy to do that. And I also have a podcast as well, which is a great resource to kind of get a sense of how I work. It's called The Art of Attraction with Dominey Drew, and it's on every platform. You're welcome to find me there as well.
Love it. Oh my gosh. Now we've got to I got to go find another podcast for me to really listen to, because you girls know, I love my podcast. Cool. All right. Well, Dominey, thank you so much. It really was a pleasure. I hope to rock out India trip with you, or some cool, fun trips that are coming up together. Is going to be fantastic. With that, y'all, I'm a high performance habits coach providing health, mindset, and life coaching mentorship to those elite powerhouse babes. So if you're tired of playing small and you know you're meant for more, go ahead and book that free 15-minute clarity call with me. It's in the show notes. I say it every day because that's really where our first journey begins, is with that 15-minute session. Because listen, I'm not everyone's cup of tequila. You're not going to like me. I may not like you. And that's where we begin, right? If you're looking for the quick fix, don't even book the call. If you're looking for someone to snap their finger and, make you all better, cool. Don't even book the call, because I want to work with women who have no problem getting in there and getting dirty for a little bit so that we can come out on top. So if that's you, book the call, you guys. And if you are ready to change your life, completely boss up in a matter of days and sessions, call Dominey for sure. That's so amazing. So yeah, with that, ladies, I'm out of here. I will see you next week for another fabulous show of Boss Up Babes. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Boss Up Babes with Carissa Adkins, bringing you tangible tips and expert coaching advice to help you boss up and get healthy. Tune in every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific on transformationtalkradio.com for interviews with industry leaders and powerhouse boss babes that will empower you to take action and live your best life. If you're ready to boss up and work with Carissa in one of her transformative group coaching programs, visit 365dailyhustle.com.